Chicago P.D. Season 13, Episode 20 Breakdown. The darkest case intelligence has ever faced. Just when fans thought Chicago P.D. had already pushed its characters to the limit this season, Episode 20 arrives and completely changes the game. Packed with shocking betrayals, emotional breakdowns, and a final twist nobody saw coming. This episode may go down as one of the most intense hours in the show's history. From the opening minutes, the atmosphere feels different. The streets of Chicago are colder, the tension inside intelligence is heavier, and every conversation feels like it's hiding a secret. Something bad is coming. And by the end of the episode, fans are left wondering whether the team can ever recover. A routine investigation turns into absolute chaos. The episode begins with what appears to be a straightforward case involving a dangerous robbery crew terrorizing the city. But almost immediately, intelligence realizes this is far bigger than anyone expected. Evidence starts disappearing, witnesses suddenly go missing, and every lead points toward corruption buried deep inside the system. That's when Hank Voight senses something is off. Voight spends most of the episode unusually quiet, but longtime viewers know that's when he's at his most dangerous. Every scene with him feels tense because you can tell he's putting together pieces no one else sees yet. The deeper he digs, the more obvious it becomes that somebody close to the investigation is hiding the truth. And once the truth finally comes out, everything explodes. Intelligence starts turning against each other. One of the biggest shocks in episode 20 is how fractured the team becomes. Usually, intelligence works like a family, even when they argue. But this time, fear and pressure push everyone to their breaking point. Kim Burgess refuses to back down when she notices inconsistencies in the case files, even after being warned to stop asking questions. Her instincts prove crucial, but they also put her directly in danger. Meanwhile, Adam Ruzek finds himself caught between loyalty to the team and protecting the people he cares about. Several scenes between him and Burgess are incredibly emotional because both characters realize the stakes are higher than ever. Then there's Kevin Atwater, who delivers one of the strongest performances of the episode. Atwater becomes increasingly suspicious that someone within law enforcement may be connected to the criminal network. His determination leads to some of the episode's most intense confrontations. But the real emotional core comes from watching the team slowly stop trusting each other. Every conversation feels loaded. Every glance feels suspicious. And as secrets start surfacing, intelligence begins to crack from the inside. The episode's midpoint twist changes everything. About halfway through the episode, Chicago P.D. delivers the moment fans will be talking about for weeks. A key suspect is finally captured after a brutal chase sequence through downtown Chicago. The team believes they're about to get answers, but instead, the suspect reveals information that completely flips the investigation upside down. Suddenly, the case is no longer about robbery or organized crime. It becomes personal. The revelation connects directly to someone the team never expected, forcing Voight into an impossible position. You can actually see the shock on everyone's faces as they realize they may have been manipulated from the very beginning. The writing here is incredibly smart because the episode quietly planted clues throughout earlier scenes. Small details that seem meaningless suddenly become massive hints once the twist is revealed. Fans who rewatch the episode will probably notice just how carefully everything was set up. Voight crosses a dangerous line again. If there's one thing Chicago P.D. does better than almost any crime drama, it's showing how far Hank Voight is willing to go when people he cares about are threatened. And episode 20 might feature one of his darkest decisions yet. Episode becomes almost terrifying because you never know what he's going to do next. He's angry, desperate, and clearly carrying the weight of the entire unit on his shoulders. One particular interrogation scene stands out as pure classic Chicago P.D. tension. There's barely any after discovering the full truth behind conspiracy. Voight abandons protocol completely. The music. The room is almost silent, and Voight's calm voice somehow feels more threatening than shouting ever could. The suspect realizes too late that Voight already knows the truth, and that's when things spiral out of control. Fans online are already debating whether Voight went too far in this episode, or whether his actions were justified considering the circumstances. Either way, it creates one of the season's most unforgettable moments. Burgess and Ruzek face their biggest emotional test yet. Longtime fans of Burgess and Ruzek have been waiting for major development between the two characters, and episode 20 absolutely delivers. Their relationship takes center stage during several emotional scenes that reveal how deeply the investigation is affecting both of them. The fear of losing each other becomes very real once the case starts turning violent. At one point, Burgess makes a risky decision without backup, leading to a sequence that genuinely feels dangerous. The tension is unbearable because the episode repeatedly hints that not everyone may survive. Ruzek's reaction afterward is one of the episode's emotional highlights. For a brief moment, the hardened detective mask disappears completely, and viewers see how terrified he really is. It's scenes like these that remind fans why Chicago P.D. remains one of television's strongest character-driven dramas. A shocking betrayal leaves intelligence destroyed. Just when it seems the team is finally getting ahead, episode 20 delivers another devastating surprise. Someone they trusted betrays them. The betrayal scene is handled brilliantly because it's not overly dramatic. Instead, it unfolds quietly, almost casually, making the reveal even more painful. Once the truth becomes clear, the entire atmosphere changes instantly. The team realizes they were being watched the whole time. Suddenly, every failed operation, every missing witness, and every dangerous ambush makes sense. And the betrayal doesn't just threaten the case. It threatens the future of intelligence itself. Several characters openly question whether the unit can survive after what happened. Even Voight appears shaken in a way fans rarely see. That final realization hits hard because it feels like the show is setting up massive consequences for the rest of the season. The final 10 minutes are pure insanity. Chicago P.D. saves its craziest moments for the ending. The final act becomes a non-stop emotional roller coaster filled with gunfire, desperate decisions, and heartbreaking consequences. Intelligence races against time to stop a catastrophic attack tied to conspiracy, leading to one of the most suspenseful sequences the series has produced in years. The pacing here is incredible. Every minute raises the stakes higher. Characters split up. Communications fail. Backup never arrives. And for a terrifying moment, it genuinely feels like the team is walking straight into disaster. Then comes the cliffhanger. Just as the situation appears resolved, the episode delivers one last shocking reveal involving a mysterious figure connected to the case. The final scene ends abruptly, leaving fans with more questions than answers. Who's really behind the operation? Can intelligence recover from betrayal? And is Voight finally losing control? Fans are already calling it one of the best episodes of the season. Social media exploded immediately after the episode aired, with viewers praising the emotional storytelling, unexpected twists, and darker tone. Many fans are already comparing episode 20 to some of Chicago P.D.'s most legendary episodes because of how intense and unpredictable it feels. The biggest praise, however, has gone to the performances. Every actor brings incredible energy to the episode, especially during quieter emotional scenes. Instead of relying only on action, the episode focuses heavily on fear, trust, and the emotional toll of police work. That balance is what makes Chicago P.D. stand out from other crime dramas. The action is thrilling, but the emotional consequences always matter just as much. What episode 20 means for the rest of season 13. After everything that happened, it's clear the rest of the season will never be the same. The trust inside intelligence has been shattered. Voight may be closer than ever to crossing a line he can't come back from, and several characters are now carrying emotional scars that could affect future episodes in major ways. The final cliffhanger also hints that the conspiracy may be far bigger than anyone imagined, suggesting episode 20 was only the beginning of something even darker. If the remaining episodes continue at this level, Season 13 could end up becoming one of the most unforgettable seasons in Chicago P.D. history. One thing is certain. Fans will be counting the days until the next episode finally reveals what happens next.